So we are going to to talk about project management. I'm presenting on the project management course, and the topic is Tuckman's model of group development. So, introduction. So here, what we are basically talking about is about project management, and we need to we need to find out what is a project management. So the basic characteristics of a project is that it has a defined purpose and it is time bound. This means that any activity or program worth calling a project, first of all, has needs to have a specific purpose why it exists, and also should be a time frame when it should that activity should eventually come to an end. Now, what we need to know is that projects are run by teams, and the success of any particular project is dependent on teamwork. Now, uh, this is because teamwork mainly ensures that the tasks are coordinated, skills are combined, and goals are achieved efficiently. However, what we find is that uh, new teams often struggle with unclear roles. Sometimes there's usually limited trust amongst the group members themselves. And which is the one other thing that is common is communication issues. So because of these, new teams struggle many times to get back on on track and be able to do what they were formed for. Now, it is for this reason that Tuckman's model tries to explain the various stages so groups go through before they can call themselves a team. So in this particular case, Tuckman's model of group development is more like a foundational framework, and that explains how the teams are formed. It explains how they grow, how they face challenges, and eventually become effective over time. One thing to note here is that this model was proposed by a man called Bruce Tuckman in the year 1965. Now, the model explains about 5 stages that groups typically go through when they are working together. Now, these stages are that the first stage is the forming stage. From the forming stage, the group will eventually move to the norming stage. From norming, from storming to the norming stage. From norming to performing, and eventually adjourning. So they are basically 5. So stage of forming. This is the initial stage where the group members meet for the first time. Now, at this stage, group members are usually polite and mainly cautious not to offend each other. Here, the group's goals and expectations are still very unclear. Thus, the group is dependent on the leader for guidance. So here we can give an example. So, for example, if we have a project, a project, a project to sensitize women, or will be mothers, or just in general families in the communities on the importance of breastfeeding. So that group is formed, and they're given that task of sensitization in a particular community about the importance of breastfeeding. So this stage entails that when that particular group meets for the first time, first of all, the goals of the project are still very unclear. And people are polite, of course. They are meeting for the first time, just trying to get to know each other. And at this stage, one thing to put in mind is that the leader is the one who shows direction here. So the group would depend on the leader for guidance on how to move. Now, from that stage, we move to stage two. Stage two is about storming. Okay, so stage one, they were getting to know each other. They were meeting for the first time, goes very unclear and all that. Now they move to the second stage. Now at this stage, things are becoming a little bit clearer, and the group members start expressing their views, opinions, and because of that, personalities come out, conflicts may arise, and in this regard, you find that members will start to challenge roles, leadership, procedure. Interestingly, this stage is critical because resolving disagreements helps build trust amongst the group members. Therefore, the team lead focus at this stage should be to resolve the conflicts, and make sure that he or she does not ignore whatever the group is going through, because it is going to determine how they achieve the objective of the project at the end of the day. So if we look at the hypothetical example that I gave of a team tasked to sensitize a particular community on the importance of breastfeeding, we're looking at now team members trying to know of who's supposed to do what type of sensitization is supposed to be done. Like, do they go in communities door to door to teach women about the importance of uh, breastfeeding or general families, or do they organize some community meetings and start to sensitize, to teach people about the importance of breastfeeding? Or preferably, they can just target those women who are about to give birth, maybe follow them to their antenatal meetings and teach. So all those roles on how to eventually or get to their objective are questions. And the leader in this particular case is supposed to make sure that he provides clarity by resolving all those conflicts that the group might have. Yeah, so from there now, the group will the norming stage. Now, what is this norming stage? So the norming stage, this is the stage where the group starts developing shared norms. There's cohesion and cooperation. So after all the conflicts, all the fighting, the team leader resolves the conflicts, provides clear direction, tells the team on what to do at what particular time. It means now members start to understand their roles and begin working more smoothly. Most importantly, there's an increased sense of belonging and unity. And here, the team lead should play the role of a coach. So, like the way football coaches operate, you have each team member knowing what they're supposed to do at what particular time, and the leader is just there to provide guidance at this particular stage. So from norming stage to the fourth stage, which is performing. Now this is we can call it the optimum stage. The optimum stage, this is the stage where now the team has become highly effective and productive. Members are motivated to work independently towards the shared goal, and in most cases, conflict, if it occurs, it is handled constructively. In this regard, the team lead who delegate some responsibility and the like. So in this particular case, when we look at the example that we gave of sensitization of a particular community on the importance of breastfeeding, we are looking at the team now is able to to perform that task in the most efficient way. The standard of operations is known and everything, and the leader is also able to even just delegate some of his responsibilities to the team members. The fifth stage, which is the adjourning stage. So this is now the final stage, the fifth stage. So this stage, it is important to add that it wasn't part of the initial four stages that Tuckman came up with. Initially, the stages were just four, but in 1977, the the adjourning stage, which is the final stage, the concluding stage, was added. Now, at this stage, the group completes its tasks and dissolves. However, this stage is characterized by mixed emotions, as members may feel a sense of accomplishment or sadness as the group disbands. Now, the role of the project manager at this particular stage is to kind of recognize the efforts of the members as the project comes to an end. So, in our example of the the group that was sensitizing people about importance of breastfeeding, we're looking at now, okay, we were looking at the recognizing the team for their effort, thanking them for 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 doing their job really. And yeah, so basically these are the stages I thought I should share with you. Thank you. Okay, so now I want to give my personal opinion about this particular I want to share my personal opinion about this particular model. So for me, like the way the framework, remember the diagram where we're moving from stage one, which is forming, we move to storming, then norming, performing, and eventually adjourning. So the model, the way it is, I think it's quite structured, well structured framework that project managers can use to build teams. However, for me, I feel that even though the model appears to be linear, that's moving from stage one, stage two, and up stage one, stage two, from up to eventually stage five. In reality, things might be a little bit different. This is due to the fact that a group could move from performing back to norming or storming, given a change in a project environment. For example, we will form a group, you start working, we're in the forming stage, you move to the storming stage, then you move to the norming stage, the performing stage, and before the project ends, you find that maybe team members leave, they find other opportunities somewhere, and new members come in. So before the project ends, we have new teams, meaning you have to go back again to getting to know each other, and just getting to know who does what, the team members. So it's more like it's a cycle, it goes back again like that. And we should not view it in more like a linear, like a straight line, where when you move from this stage you go to the another stage and that's it until you finish. But we should have in mind that things can change. Even as you are more effective on the performing stage, something can happen in the project environment, and you move back to where you started from. So as a project manager, you need to be aware of those things so that you make sure that you mitigate as much as possible. Okay, so thank you very much. This was my presentation about Tuckman's model of group development. I hope you learned one or two things. As project managers, we should be able to use. Thank you.